Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday number 61, Pain and the Four Noble Truths. Question: what is pain and the Four Noble Truths that Buddhism refers to? Okay, you probably maybe have heard somewhere that, and you probably even live it, that all experience leads to liberation. Liberation is freedom. So in the world of yoga, that's our work, is to develop this attitude that as we live life, that everything that we experience is an opportunity to lead us to the unity state of consciousness, to freedom. But the problem is that we have separated ourselves from the divine. We have decided to not include the divine in our reality. And when we have decided that, we are now identified as an I, as an ego, separate. Now, the thing is, when we face life situations, sometimes there's challenging ones, and the challenging ones can be quite painful. And the ego then will make a decision about how I should move forward in this particular life situation. But the ego, remember, is separated from the divine. So this is the problem that we have. So the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism have an equivalent in yoga, and they're called the Four Principles of the Human Problem and the Solution. So the first noble question, we could say, is what is it that I am experiencing that I so much want to get rid of? And of course, the answer to that is pain. I don't want pain. Nobody wants pain. And that's called Heya in Sanskrit. The second noble question, truth question, is what is the cause of my problem? And the problem is pain. So what's the cause of pain? And that's called Heya. Heya Hetu. And the cause of the pain that we experience, I said it a little bit earlier, is the sense of separation from the divine. So we have excluded the divine in our personal experience. That's the cause of our pain. The third noble truth question is there a state of freedom from pain and the cause of pain? And Han, Heya Hetu Han, that's called Han. And yeah, the answer is live the unity state of consciousness. You can live it. Get there. Do the work to get there. And then the fourth noble truth question is what means, or how do I get there, basically? What do I have to do to get to that unity state of consciousness? And that's Hanupai. And the answer is that you have to develop a very, very fine discernment. It's called Vivek Gyan. Vivek meaning discernment, and Gyan means knowledge. The difference between what is false and undergoing constant change, and what is unchanging but always true. And this is your practice. You have to know that difference. So you wanting to know how to get free of pain, it's important that you understand there's four types of pain that a human being experiences. And the first type of pain is called the pain of change. It's inevitable. Everything in existence is undergoing change. And so it's delusive. It's a deluding concept or expectation that anything that you meet now should stay the same. You're going to experience pain just by you not understanding the nature of pain, of change. Everything is in constant change. So what happens is you get attached to something, and then when it changes, you experience pain. And another thing that happens in this pain of change is that your senses become overused because of our indulgences. So when we indulge in our senses, what happens is the senses itself become weakened because they're undergoing change too. So your expectation for pleasure in your indulgence, the senses itself can no longer experience the joy of the pleasure of that indulgence. And so that's painful. So everything is undergoing change. Another form of change is the pain of anxiety. So now an example of this would just be that you're experiencing something really beautiful. You're having a pleasant experience with a person or an object or a situation. And then you experience something painful. It turns, like all things do change from pleasure to pain. There's always, wherever there's pleasure, right inherent in the pleasure is a hidden pain. With time, the pain will come into existence. And this is a law. So it's important that you learn or understand this law. So what happens is with the pain of anxiety is you see that the pleasurable thing became painful. And now with anxiety, you're all in your head. Your whole world is your thoughts, and you're not in reality anymore. You're not here on earth. So anxiety is when you're overthinking and you're giving a lot of attention to your experiences. And so now you're going to project into the future when there's actually nothing happening to create pain. You project pain right now when there's no pain about the future. And this is the pain of anxiety. And the mind will do this because the mind itself is constantly changing. And the forms out there are constantly changing. And your mind will project pain when there isn't any pain. The third type of pain is the pain of memory. And in this case, you are hankering over the past of something beautiful that has happened, and you're trying to recreate it, relive it. It's like having a wonderful experience, and you're just trying to redo everything so that you have that same experience again, so that you can have the same pleasure again. And of course, that's painful because everything's undergoing change. So the fourth one is the pain of the gunas opposing each other. Now, I'll just recap what the gunas are. The gunas are these qualities in life that are in constant, they're very unstable. So for instance, there's the tamas guna, and that's the power of lethargy or constant trying to hold things down. It's a deluding force that covers you up and suppresses the truth. The rajas power is the power of agitation. Things are constantly going around in circles and not, there's no settledness with it. And sattva guna is the power of awareness, consciousness, bliss, and truth. So now these three gunas are very different from each other, and because they're different and they're unstable, which means that if you're one guna can dominate another guna at any moment in time, and then within 2 seconds or a minute later, another guna, one of the other gunas will dominate. So the three gunas are constantly changing in amongst themselves within time periods. So you can never depend in this field of relativity to have any of the gunas remain the same. So the only thing you can do is start to practice more sattva in your life, yoga lifestyle activities, and then you will experience, so the result of sattva is you're experiencing happiness, and the result of rajas is that you experience agitation. The result of tamas is that you're going into a diluted attachment state, and that's painful. So happiness can only happen when you're in the state of sattva. So that's really what it comes down to. If you're really wanting to know and understand pain, what you want is liberation from pain, which is what the Four Noble Truths are trying to tell you. So practice sattvic activities, and eventually you'll go beyond sattva, and you'll enter into the unity state of consciousness, which is you are no longer deciding that there's this power, this divine power that is separate from you. You have decided to include the divine power within your reality. And that's it for today's Wisdom Wednesday, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.